Okay, well, good afternoon, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. It's fantastic to have you here with us today as we go through this info session and Q&A on the CCF Leadership Development Program that is being delivered by Lysander. We're so excited to shine a spotlight on this powerful initiative that is supporting the future of leadership in our industry. And so pleased that we were able to partner with Lysander once again in order to deliver this solution for our sector. Obviously, a lot of our industry is quite multifaceted, lots of different walks of life, lots of different experiences. And it's so true that in our particular industry, great leadership goes way beyond project management. In our industry, it shapes culture, safety, retention, and long-term success. And so this program that's been developed is open to all in the industry and is designed to develop confident and capable leaders at every level of the business. So over 5 transformative months, kick-starting from the 9th of July this year, participants in this program will embark on a learning journey that blends practical training, expert coaching, peer learning to equip current and emerging leaders with the tools to lead teams, manage challenges, and foster strong, values-driven workplaces that we all want to be a part of. The program is hands-on and it addresses leadership challenges that we know are all out there, from managing former peers, for example, to fostering psychological safety and having the tough yet necessary conversations that we need to drive positive change within the workplace. We've heard from industry time and time again that there is a leadership capability gap in our industry. And with the increasing demands on teams, on safety and culture, strong leadership isn't even an option anymore, it's an essential. So we are thrilled to be able to partner with Lysander and to provide the CCF Leadership Development Program as a solution that not only addresses this need for our members and for our industry in particular, but also empowers our people to grow, connect, and to lead with purpose. Today we are joined by Amanda Stokes from Lysander, who actually will be the facilitator and coach of the program come July. Amanda brings with her over 20 years of experience in education and healthcare, and she's passionate about helping people thrive in their personal lives, in their workplaces, and on their leadership journeys. So I don't think there is anyone better fitted to join and deliver this program with us. Her approach centres on self-awareness, resilience, and building positive relationships. And she has a talent for making complex ideas feel practical and relatable. She's worked with teams at the ANZ, the RACV, Dye and Durham, helping them strengthen their communications, navigate challenges, and foster wellbeing within the workplace. And Amanda believes we all have a role to play in shaping the environments that we're in and that we teach people how to treat us. I love that. So let's get into it. We're in great hands today. Thank you so much for joining us, Amanda.
Thank you, Annie, and thank you to everybody that is behind their screen. And I'd love to invite you to turn your cameras on if you're comfortable. There's something a little bit nicer about looking at people's faces when you're in a position like this. I do understand that it does require vulnerability, and a lot of people do prefer to stay behind the screen, but the invitation is there if you would like to take me up on that. And I am incredibly excited to be part of this program. I was also part of the Women in Construction program that we have run on a few occasions. I think the most pressing question that I get is what makes this leadership program different to other leadership programs? Because, you know, we've all been on leadership programs, we've picked up some skills along the way, nothing much has changed for us. I can hand on heart say that the thing that I say at the start of the program is that the person that starts the program is not the same person that finishes. And without fail, At graduation, I have somebody say, when Amanda said that at the start, I rolled my eyes and I thought, how is that possible? But here I am standing here as a different version of myself. The difference between this leadership program and others is that it's not just theory. It is really focusing on I think in the pamphlet it's called soft skills. These are the most important life skills for leading, both on a personal level and a professional level. This work changes you in so many ways. The conversations that we have in the program will change the way you lead in your relationships with the people that you work with, within your home, within your friendships. You start to look at people differently. There are some incredible models that have changed the way I look at humans. They're almost like superpowers. Knowing how to step into challenging conversations and being able to work out what the other person is likely to be triggered by. So then, focusing your conversations to make sure that you're getting in before those things happen. Being able to look at yourself and think, what's going on for me here? The truth is, we all live internally. So you always know what your intention is when you're leading. You don't always have a lot of control over how you're received. The stat that excites me the most is that 95% of us believe that we are self-aware. 12 to 15% of us actually are. So what this program allows you to do is to become one of those people who actually has genuine self-awareness. Leadership starts with us. So once we understand ourselves in a really honest way, then we can start to make better sense of other people. In terms of this program, Catering for Civil Construction, we do a lot of work that supports you around workforce coordination, project timelines, compliance pressure, safety leadership. You will walk away from every session with things that you are able to immediately apply in the workplace. The beauty of the way the program is designed, there are many opportunities for you to have conversations with others. We don't provide you with case studies to work through. You bring your real experiences to each conversation. And you're sitting there with other people who are in the same industry as you, who are dealing with the same personality types, the same challenges, the same issues. And together you get to talk about how can we take that learning that we've just, the things that we've just been discussing over here, how can we make that something that's real and tangible in the workplace? As I said, I guarantee you that you will walk away with things that you can start applying the very next day, whether it's within your team or a conversation that you need to have up or something that you've been avoiding because it's felt too hard. The peer coaching element of the program is really exciting as well. It's an opportunity for you to come together with a peer in the program to talk through the things that may have landed for you after the workshop, to have practice opportunities of coaching, to create a relationship with somebody that you can call upon to say, I need to have this really difficult conversation over here. Can you help me with my blind spots? We all have blind spots. I often say that this leadership program turns the light on, and when the light goes on, it doesn't go off. But we still always, when we're in stressful situations, you will always revert back to that thing that you've done most often. So it's about really accepting how we have been leading up until this point, taking stock of the areas where we need to create shifts, and then making sure that we hold ourselves and each other accountable. The groups that go through this program tend to have a group chat that they have going throughout the length of the program, and you have this really special network of people that you can go to for support, to ask questions, to say, how did that go when you did that over there? Because I'm going to be facing something similar. The workshop is a combination of face-to-face and digital learning. The purpose of the digital learning is that front loads you for the workshops. We don't have huge amount of time. The time tends to go so quickly when we are together. So the purpose of the digital work is that you come in with some understandings, because we don't teach the pre-work in the workshop. There's an assumption that you've put some time aside so that when you come in, you already have some of those understandings. At the very start of the program, you will go through a GENOS survey. GENOS is an emotional intelligence diagnostic tool. It's an incredible opportunity for you to select raters, and I always suggest you find people who don't necessarily think that everything you do is wonderful, because if we just get everyone that says you're fabulous, we don't grow. We encourage you to find the people who don't think like you do. Find the people who sometimes rub you the wrong way. Their feedback is where we really get to learn things about ourselves. Your raters get to rate how important they think the emotional intelligence competencies are against how they see you demonstrate those competencies. You also do a self-assessment, and results are generated. You'll have a 1-hour debrief with me, and we get to go through them. They are incredibly insightful opportunities. Often that's the moment where people recognise that maybe how they thought they were coming across isn't necessarily the way they've been coming across. And so it gives you a way to step into this program from a place of, okay, I see myself a little clearly now. I see some of those blind spots. So that's the thing that happens at the very start. The first workshop is emotional intelligence. In leadership, we really unpack the competencies: awareness of self, awareness of others, authenticity, inspiring performance, all of those things that help us become an emotionally intelligent leader. Powerful conversations will change your ability to communicate with anybody. It really is a superpower workshop. And we talk about the fact that challenging conversations happen because better ones didn't. And really having a look at, where do I need to step up? Where do I need to be a little bit braver? Where do I want to impact change? The third workshop is about defining team culture and looking at the role we play, whether you are a leader at the moment or whether you're aspiring to be a leader, whether you're part of a team, wherever you are, you play a role in creating a safe culture. So we do a lot of work there, and then growth and performance through coaching. A great opportunity to think about, how can I be the best that I can be, but how can I also encourage others to be the best that they can be as well? How can I grow people? How can I support people that are higher up than me to maybe see that there are some things that they might need to pay attention to as well? And then influencing in practice, which again is all about how can we influence, even if we're not necessarily in positions of leadership yet. If you're thinking, is this for me? As Annie said at the start, this is for anyone currently in a leadership role, anyone aspiring to be in a leadership role, anybody who is new into leadership, or somebody that's been in leadership for a very long time and thinks, I want to do things differently. I need to do things better because things aren't necessarily working as well as I would like them to. It is a program that you won't regret taking the step into. You will walk away feeling more equipped to lead yourself, your teams, and it's a wonderful opportunity. I'm thinking, what have I missed here? Have I missed anything, Annie? I feel like I've just gone on a little journey there.
No, that was fantastic. I think there might be a bit more to the program, but you've definitely covered the nuts and bolts of it. Thank you so much. We're very excited about the rollout of this program. And it was interesting how you mentioned earlier things like soft skills. So earlier this year, we had the CCF People and Training Awards, which celebrates people in the industry, from your administrator in the office to your HSEQ manager, advisor, your leading hands, etc. And it was so interesting that the feedback from the judging panel on a lot of those submissions. So the submissions, the nominations come from a manager and they're nominating staff, etc. But one of the highest, what's the word I'm looking for? One of the highest rated things that the judges picked up on was everyone, or the managers, picking up on things like soft skills. So it was interesting, and they talked about that in terms of recruitment as well, and how it's helped them shape the way they actually advertise roles in the industry or leadership roles. So everything you've said today, Amanda, is bang on, and we're really excited, as I said before, to deliver this program for our members, for this industry, and looking to get that uptake and having it be a staple, for example, so to speak, so that we continue to empower our people and leading with purpose. So that's fantastic. Thank you. I will throw it to the floor for some questions, but I thought I'd pose a couple first, if that was okay with you.
Sure.
The one that I had here in particular is, how is the program tailored for people that work in our industry?
Yeah, so as I mentioned earlier, that's where we bring your real world issues into the conversation. So it's built with those realities in mind. So rather than us giving you case studies and us talking about things in your industry there, we encourage you to bring your own issues, and then we facilitate conversations around how everything fits. So in terms of civil construction, we will discuss the things that are relevant for your industry in all of our facilitated workshops. So we'll have the session, we'll have our breakout groups, and that's where the conversations are focused around the things that are relevant to civil construction.
Excellent. I love that. And that brings into play the whole peer learning as well.
Exactly right. Yes.
And we talk about civil construction, or construction in general, being a very multifaceted industry with so many different career pathways. And so I'm really excited about the cohort getting together and sharing experiences. It is going to be a mixed cohort, which is awesome. And some have even flagged being excited about, sharing some of the challenges they have within the workplace that others might not be even aware of, and sort of bridging those gaps, which I think is wonderful. That's awesome. I've got another question here. Can you give me an example of how the program has helped a past participant grow in their role or career?
There are so many. I am in touch on LinkedIn with quite a few of the women who have done the program over the last few years, and without being able to remember exactly, but the role progression that I have seen. So one of the participants has created her own network. She was a young woman in construction, and she has created her own network of younger people in construction, and she's supporting them now to develop a lot of the skills that she picked up in the program. For some others, it's been about, you know, they have been promoted within the industry. So going from being part of a team to being in leadership position. So it's really opened a lot of doors for people, which we see across the board through these programs.
That's fantastic. Thank you. So the program is kickstarting on the 9th of July, with the cohort graduating on the 26th of November, which is exciting to get that done, you know, by Christmas, as I know everyone just loves a lockdown period. Can you please tell me what the time commitment would be each week, and how flexible the learning schedule would be for our participants?
Yeah. So we come together on a monthly basis. The digital component opens up not long after the workshop finishes. So the time commitment, it's probably about an hour over the month. So it's not a lot of time that's required to do the digital learning. For me, I think the most important part is, how are you applying the learning? So when we come back together for that next month, yes, the digital component will have required some time, as I said, about an hour over that month. But the thing that I really want to hear about over that time is, one, did you manage to catch up with your peer coach, which, you know, you'd probably set aside about 30 minutes for that. Sometimes we know that it can be challenging to line up schedules. And so sometimes people come to the program and they say, we didn't get the peer catch up. And so I just say, well, use your lunch break during the program to get together and do that then. So there's a way around everything. And it, you know, it's not school. So if it happened for whatever reason that you turn up and you haven't done the pre-work, nobody's going to make you stand up. There's not going to be any embarrassment around there. We know that you get out of these things what you put in. So it's strongly encouraged that the pre-work is done. I would always say, don't do it straight after the workshop, because by the time you get to the next workshop, you'll have forgotten a lot of it. So just setting aside a little bit of time before the workshop. And I think that the participants will find that the digital learning is actually really interesting. So it'll be more of a, I get to spend some time on that rather than I have to.
Great, thank you. I've got another question here. Do the participants need to be managing people already to get value out of this program, or is there an ideal level of experience required for the participants?
No, absolutely not. So really think of it as, it's a leadership program that starts with self. So you don't need to be managing currently, because in that capacity, if you're not managing, you can be thinking of, what sort of leader do I aspire to be? And so it's looking at how you lead on a personal level, thinking about the relationships that you have with the people that you work with, the way you communicate with stakeholders, and so no, you don't need to be in leadership. Everyone's experience will be different. Those that are in leadership will obviously have a different focus than those that are currently in a team and aspiring. And that's where the richness of the program comes in, because you get to share experiences, and you get to, the person who's not currently leading gets to hear how somebody became a leader if they're aspiring to be a leader. So it covers all areas.
Great, thank you. Is there any pre-work that needs to be done by the participants before the launch on the 9th of July?
Yeah, there will be some. So the launch is on the 9th of July. Yeah, so I don't think that there's anything that has to be done by then. There will be some pre-work done before the first workshop.
Excellent.
which will
Thank you.
involve the Genos that we spoke about. But we'll talk more about that at the launch. Yeah.
Excellent. And just so our guests who are tuned in this afternoon are clear, the launch will take place, as will the face-to-face sessions here at the CCF Victoria office in Notting Hill. And you'll be present at all of those as our facilitator and coach, which is fantastic. I had one more quick question before I throw it to the floor. Is the program suitable for people working in the field, not just for office-based roles?
Absolutely. There's often a mix. So the skills work whether you are in an office-based role or whether you are on site. So everything applies to you no matter where you're based.
All right. Looks like you've done a pretty good job, Amanda, given an overview of the program. Looks like we've covered a fair bit off. And we'll pop the link from our website as well on the leadership development program so that you can check out a bit more information there. They'll have the costs outlined on that on the website, as well as a list of all the key dates for the program so that you can get prepared and be a part of the program, which is what we're really hoping to get that drive from industry to continue delivering these sorts of initiatives. So if you've got any questions or any feedback at all, please send us an email. And our project administrator is Emma Martin. She'll be in touch with you to address any queries you've got. You could reach out to our team here at the CCF. But thank you so much, Amanda Stokes from Lysander. Great to have you on our Q&A webinar this afternoon. And we're really excited to kickstart the program and see you here in the flesh in July. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Annie. Looking forward to it. And thank you, everyone, for joining today. And I can't wait to see you all as part of the program.